Hey, 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 yeah, hey, what a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
Welcome back to Dawn of Dream Podcast. I'm your host, Ara Amen. This is the #1 podcast in Dallas. And I have a very special guest here today, Miss Latoya Rose. Background has in tax, accounting, has her own firm, got into the insurance industry where she's able to help families and maximize what she's doing in her entire business platform. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Like,
Of course.
Is such a pleasure. I said $1 in a dream. I'm like, I got to get on there.
Oh, yeah. You came up to me and you're like, when am I going to get on? And I was like, I got you. And then
Yeah.
a week went by and you're like, you haven't got me on yet. And I was like, I promise it's coming. It's coming.
No, seriously. Because, and I think, too, because we're always kind of trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang it. I started seeing people pop up. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be on there. I'm like, let me get back to Ara and let him know, like, hey, I really would like to be on the podcast, because I don't know how I can contribute, but I'm like, I want to make myself available too. So yeah.
No, okay, you have one of the, like, anytime I have someone new, I want them to meet you. Like, you're like the top 1% in the office that I want my people to meet, because you're fun, you have integrity, you have good knowledge, good experience, good value. You're working directly with Matt and Sheena.
Yes.
You're making money, you have a business, but like it's I just want my people around you because of the value you provide. So you're going to be on here multiple times. So I'm excited for the future. I got to get you and Sheena on one day.
Oh my goodness. I had dinner with Sheena last night.
Okay, but
I
before
can't talk about that, but
we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But I wanted to understand. So I heard you speak on stage a couple weeks ago
Yes.
about how you went to an event. You didn't have a ticket. You didn't have a hotel. You paid the points on your card for your flight. You just got there with a dream. And could you please kind of tell that story?
Literally $1 in a dream.
Literally. And that's why we're here.
And that's why we're here. And that's why I'm here in Dallas, actually. I bet on me. I said a prayer. I've been praying. And as an entrepreneur, like, you cannot separate prayer from business. And I've been praying, like, God, I finally came into something that is real, that allows me to have good impact, because in my firm, I focus on business owners. Simply because that's the way to go. Like, if you want to really live life tax-free, live life where you can have impact, you have to be a business owner. And so around this time last year, we were getting ready for a big event, our national conference in Las Vegas in the MGM. And it was the first of the month. I just paid rent, and for me, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm a single mom. I really want to take this to the next level. And I was a Zoom baby. And what that basically means is that I was recruited online, and there wasn't a local office where I was, right, when I first got started. And it's comfortable doing things on Zoom, but I can honestly say we're in a business of helping people and having impact, and it's nothing like the in-person interaction, Now, when I got there, I bought my ticket using points. I didn't have a ticket for the event. I didn't have a room. But I called my senior vice president at the time, and I said, hey, I am here. Like, I was in the lobby, in the lobby, just that, a dream, $1 in a dream. I had just enough to make sure, if I needed to eat something, I could. But even with entrepreneurship, it's kind of like, you know what? Some days you just got to take a fast, right? You're fasting today. You're trusting God. So anyway, I got there. Within 15 minutes, I had a room, I had a ticket, and just the conversations and the events that occurred, being able to see people that look like me, not only just making money, but being rewarded for building people and getting equity. And it just did something to me where I said, okay, I got to get to Dallas. And so when I flew back to Scottsdale, Arizona.
So you were living in Scottsdale at the time.
I was living in Scottsdale. And actually, how I even got to Scottsdale, I joined PHP September of 2022. I had been recruited from Facebook Messenger, and I had missed the Zoom calls. And so it was the anniversary of my grandmother's passing. She had been gone for probably about 2 years. And so when I finally saw the presentation, I said, oh man, this is exactly what I've been looking for. Had been in the industry since 2018 doing final expense and Medicare, but knew that I needed something more, because when I'm sitting there doing tax planning with my business owners, I'm telling them about just different ways to leverage these various tax strategies so that they're not, overpaying in taxes. And insurance was always there, insurance and retirement planning. But I would have to, at that time, I would always have to kind of plug them in somewhere else.
Outsource.
Yeah. Just refer them out. And the problem with that is that with accounting or finances, once you get comfortable with someone, you don't really want to keep having to explain your situation and hope that people catch the vision. And so when I found PHP, it was like, oh, this is perfect. I don't have to outsource as much anymore. I really could help put some things into place and also be compensated for it. So getting into Big Event, coming back home from Big Event last year, I looked around my apartment at the time. It was just me and my daughter in Arizona. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to move. I'm going to trust God and make this move. So our first day in Dallas was August 16th, which was the first day of school. And I literally drove in and took my daughter to school. And from there, it's been history. At this juncture, I tell people my life has changed just in the situation of I'm truly aligned with purpose. I truly know what I'm doing every single day. Every day, I feel like I can have impact. And I know that I have something to offer, this world. And I know that I'm doing kingdom business, and I'm connected with leadership and leaders and colleagues like yourself who are aligned as well and who have purpose and want to walk in purpose. So it's been a game changer getting to Dallas, getting to have direct coaching and accountability from Matt and Sheena Sapala. As well as the other leaders that are in the office. It's just been amazing.
I love that story. So you get back from Big Event and you go to Scottsdale because that's where you and your daughter are.
Yep.
And you say, I'm going to pack up everything and go to Dallas.
Yep.
Why?
I mean, Big Event is so electrified. If a person has never been to a conference that is geared towards faith, family, fun, and finance, then they have to experience at least once in your lifetime. Because what it does is that it was more of personal development and business development, not really product driven as much as it was like mindset. And so something just clicked. And it was just like, you know what? I can try to figure out how to make $1 million in this, right? I can try to figure out how to make this thing really work, or I can go and get into the proximity of people who have done where I'm trying to do.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful, and people I think they miss it. Mm-hmm. They just miss it, and it's like, hey, there's people that are around trying to help you make money,
right?
And multimillionaires or whatever industry, right? Pick an industry. Mm-hmm. There's people in real estate, insurance, taxes, any music, whatever it is. And once you make it, you want to give back,
right?
And people don't realize that they have that opportunity, but they have to get in the proximity.
Yes.
So you decided to go back and say, you know what? I'm going to go where Matt and Sheena are, which is Dallas.
Correct.
And I'm going to be around them so I can shadow them, so I can get mentorship from them, so I can get accountability from them.
Yes.
Because if I'm serious, I'm going to show them I'm serious. And then when they see that you're serious, they say, okay, I'm going to lock into this person. Yeah. And what's it been like? Because in a short amount of time, You came in the office and you made yourself known.
Period.
So explain how. And it really was. So August 16th, you come in. What happens?
Yeah. So August 16th, I came in. It was the day. So we have trainings every Tuesday and Saturday. So it was a Wednesday when I got into Dallas. So I missed Tuesday, but I was like, they know I'm coming because I told them I'll be there. And I came on Saturday. I got there on phone zone on that Monday. And Matt and Sheena were just so happy to see me, because mind you, I mean, I had been performing, but I was a Zoom baby. Mm-hmm. So I'd been on MD to Be, I'd been on, those leadership calls. So Matt knew me. Sheena saw me through some of our in-person trainings, like Train the Trainer and things of that nature. But it was different being in the office, And because of the way that our compensation plan is set up, if you move to a new state, you have an opportunity to lock in and lock arms with the leaders there in that particular office. And so I took advantage of that. So we have a thing called National Co-Leadership, which basically makes it where I'm able to build a national firm. However, I'm able to recruit a person, recruit good talent, and then plug them into an office accordingly and still be able to be compensated for bringing them to the water, but leveraging another leader to help them drink.
So in simple terms, you can recruit someone, send them to a different office, whether if they're not around you.
Yeah, plug them in.
And they will get mentorship from whoever is in that office, and you get paid.
And you also get paid, yeah. That leader gets paid, I get paid. So I don't
split
lose.
down the middle, split down. Yeah,
there it is, and I don't lose. It's a blueprint, it's a playbook, it's a system that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And I think that's another reason that made me say, okay, I'm going to trust and get to Dallas, because I'm trying to spin my gears trying to figure this thing out when I can just perform and get the accountability with the highest earners in the company.
Why did you choose Matt and Sheena? Did you choose Matt and Sheena?
You know, I think we chose each other.
Okay.
I think we chose each other because, again, it's all about prayers, you know, and Matt is very, very in tuned. Matt and Sheena are very much in tune. You know what I mean? When his book came out, Faith Made Millionaire, you know, for me, it means something when you take a public stance like that,
right, about
what you believe in. And for me, out of all the other leaders, God said those are the ones. That's your covering. I'm a very ambitious woman. I'm a leader, naturally. Natural born leader, have always been. Even when I don't want to be the leader of the pack, I can't help it, right? But with that, you need leadership. You need covering as well.
Yeah.
And so just saying those prayers, God, show me which of these leaders is mine, my covering. Who is going to be the one that's going to help take me to the next level? And it was Matt and Sheena. And so it was definitely a God-aligned situation. Have we had crucial conversations? Most definitely. But imagine having crucial conversations to grow yourself from people who have been where you are and they want to genuinely see you grow. That's what's been amazing about having their mentorship. And then two, as I tell people, my team that was established and the new people, I say, hey, I made this investment in myself to get to Dallas to make sure that you would also have immediate access to Matt and Sheena. Now, if you want to get locked in, you got to perform. You know, like last night, Sheena invited 4 of us, of the leaders of the base shop, you know, of the team to come and have dinner with her. And that was amazing. Like the energy, the proximity, you know, we weren't just sitting there talking about business. It was really more or less personal development. We laughed, you know, she shared the pictures and video from Bora Bora. We've now come up with a little contest that people will get to see later on. You know, we're coming
the challenge?
Oh yeah, the challenge.
That came from Max, dinner. I know.
That came from dinner.
Okay, so that makes sense. We got the group me message today. I said I don't know what we're doing, but I'm in.
I'm in, right? And I told her, I said let's do up to 8 since we're doing the
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
challenge.
6, yeah, the 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that one. So and that's what I'm saying. Like you have real people with real conversations, and they see something in you, and I think a person. Because not everybody, I think, is ready to truly own their purpose and their assignment.
You have to be ready.
You have to be ready. And when God puts you in proximity of people, I tell people, you have some folks that'll come, they have come and gone.
Yeah.
But for the people that stick around, I know you can't help but to feel the energy that's in that office and to get with the program eventually. Sooner or later, you'll get with it. My thing is, once a person catches the bug, the next thing is getting past like, dang, why didn't do this sooner? Because trust me, I got here, I performed, I started getting more leadership kind of calls and interactions, and I was like, dang, I should have been here in the very beginning. Like instead of moving to Arizona, I probably 7 days after, you know, leaving Oklahoma, I should have came here. but you got to be right. It has to be perfect. It has to be proper timing.
God's timing.
Yeah.
God's timing is perfect, because
Yeah.
I think that all the time too. It's like, because I've been watching Patrick for 10 plus years. Like I literally watch his videos religiously.
Yeah.
And years ago, when I was in college, I went to php.com and I tried to apply, but that's not how that works. So it's funny enough, I probably, if I would have came across that conversation, I probably wouldn't have valued it. I probably wouldn't have understood. So kind of after becoming an engineer and realizing, okay, this is not it. And then the conversation approached me. I was like, okay, this just, why would I not?
Right.
But so you have a background in taxes, and you're an accountant. So what was that like? Before we get into that, actually, who was Latoya Rose in high school?
Oh, in high school?
In high school.
So Latoya Rose was the tutor for the football team, first and foremost. She's very fun-loving. Very fun-loving. I wouldn't consider myself popular, yet everyone knew my name. I participated in the talent show. I was in the band, you know. But I started working not full-time, but as a part-time gig at age 14, so freshman year of high school. So I've always been a very hard worker, very interested in having impact, very servant leadership. Like, that is so me. I want to do community service. I want for people to, you know that, hey, I got purpose. But also, high school Latoya also had some traumas that she went through, that she had to work through. Different barriers and challenges that you just have to, I believe, looking back on it now, the sooner you can just recognize that there are some things that are testing your faith, and that you don't try to figure it out yourself, and you kind of just let God, and let people that God put in your life help you through it, you can move forward and you can thrive faster. As a teenager, when you grow up and you don't really see healed people often, you just see people going through the rat race, whether it's in business or getting up and going to a job, and you feel like, well, dang, that's what I have to do. But when there's something in you that says, this is not it, this can't be it, you keep going, then you get to a point where you get out of survival mode and you say, look, whatever I'm making too big of a issue, remove it. Whatever that looks like, it's time to thrive.
Where did you go to high school? What city?
Yeah, so I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay, so
I don't know if you've ever born and raised. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you ever heard of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. And so just a quick history. We have the Greenwood District, right, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, founded by O.W. Gurley in 1905. And so he purchased 40 acres and from there built a little city within Tulsa, right? A district within Tulsa where you had people that came together as merchants, okay? And you had handmaids, you had business owners, hotels, the whole 9 yards. We circulated between ourselves. Well, in May 31st of 1921, there was a disagreement. I'm going to call it a disagreement, right? It's just I feel like it was just having an excuse to try to destroy the district, in which in 1921, for a whole day, from May 31st to June 1st, the city burned, Greenwood burned. They ended up dropping bombs on us. And that's how, 35 plus blocks got burnt to ashes, looting and different things of that nature. But we were very affluent people. So that's what I come from. I come from people who know who they are and who are very much here to be a solution, and who are here to supply demand, who are here to be resourceful, but also be a resource. And so that's my blood that really comes through me. On my mother's side, my great grandmother was actually brought from Mississippi to help build a black town called Redbird, Oklahoma. So a lot of what I do, and if you that may help you understand me best, I believe my contribution to history, understanding money and understanding law and complex situations and making them simple, that's my secret sauce That's how I contribute to the economy, right? But my dad, so let's go back. My great grandmother, she was a handmaid, right? My grandfather, her son, he had a speakeasy during the rebuild of Tulsa, of the Greenwood district. My dad, he worked for the post office, but he also became a bail bondsman. That's how when he retired from entrepreneurship, he retired as a bail bondsman. And then you have myself. My daughter, she's 6 right now. However, her biggest thing is marketing. She is the one. She's a marketer. She's an artist, very creative. Actually, right now, if you go to Tulsa, off of Elgin Avenue, you'll see myself and my daughter. So the work of me has helped for us to be a part of history, to show what it looks like to be that figure, right? That example of community, of healthy mother-daughter relationship. It's a lot of different curses, I believe, that I was born here and brought on this earth to break. And I'm just grateful that I'm doing the work so that my daughter doesn't have to do the work that I'm assigned to do.
I love it. And then...
Oh, and I graduated from Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa.
Okay, so born and raised in Tulsa. You have a very deep history.
Thank you.
And then what did you do after high school? Did you go to college?
I did.
Okay.
I actually graduated early, went to Langston University, graduated there early. I was a part of a lot of change there. I put a lot of different things into place. Actually, the Student Success Center that they have now, my administration was there to help design that. They have an ambassador program now. I was a part of the first class of that, so I helped develop the Constitution and bylaws of that, as well as there's a Health Administration Student Association I revived there and was a part of helping bringing the public health program to Langston University. So yeah, I have a gifting to make sure that I make anything better. Like, I want to make it, I don't want to destroy anything, but if I'm a part of something, I want to make it better.
And did you know that you wanted to get in finance right after college or right out of high school?
Can I tell you the truth?
Please.
I did.
Okay.
So, graduated high school early, a semester early, went to the president's office. And my sister and brother, they're both doctors, okay? Now, when I really wanted to go to law school first, but my dad was like, oh, it's saturated, and I had graduated early unexpectedly, so I was like, I got to go straight to college, okay? So then I was kind of talking to the executive administrator for the president, and she said, well, what is it you want to do? Like, why do you want to come now? And I said, well, I want to do the health administration program because, one day I want to have my own life and health insurance agency to make sure that Black and brown people have access to quality care.
This is at 17, 18?
At 17.
Wow.
I hadn't even turned 18 yet. I hadn't even turned 18 yet,
so
right?
when sometimes in the office we're like, who says they want to grow up to be an insurance agent?
And I raise my hand and they be like, nobody. And I'll be like, no, for real. Like, that's what happened in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, that was December of 2003. Imagine if she would have plugged me into someone and they would have said, when you turn 18 in a month and a half, go take this test, pass it with a 70%, and you can do exactly what you're talking about doing.
Right.
I didn't need a degree
right.
to do that. And like now, 20 years later, I giggle about it because I'm like, wow, it took me 20 years. There's a movie called 12 Years a Slave. I'm like 20 years a slave to the thought process that it's hard to walk in purpose.
Wow.
I'm walking the dream. Like, I'm walking it every day. I have my own agency. I'm a broker, right? I have access to the top companies. I have amazing leadership, amazing system, right? But look at all the years. I wasn't ready for it. Now I'm ready, and I'm like, wow, let's do it. So that's why I go so hard too, because I'm literally like at age 17, I knew this is what I was supposed to be doing.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's so, and it's funny because, people step into the industry and they have that same, they finally walk in their purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I was an engineer for 5 years and I thought that was my purpose. And, I did it. I got my dream job and got everything. And it's like, well, now I have my podcast. Now I have my own business. And it's like, man, this is why I'm here.
Yeah.
But I didn't know because, I went to school. I did all this stuff. And it's like, man, I spent all that money, all that time, all that.
You needed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the tithe and offerings.
And I had to do it just to say I did it because it's part of the story.
Yeah. What you gave yourself an opportunity to explore. There's nothing wrong with exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also adds a little bit of credibility of when I speak. So then you go to the university. You're studying. What do you get? Your
Health administration.
Health administration. And then how do you get into taxes?
Oh, so actually
Bridge that gap.
Yeah, in high school.
Okay.
So I went to trade school.
Okay.
For accounting.
Okay.
I was the top of my class. I was president of the campus. Yeah. So that's it. I went to technical school. So I always tell people you need to have a trade, right? Got a degree, but went and got a master's too in special education. So I'm a teacher at heart. Like I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. Like this is what I do. I thought that I needed to get all of these degrees and all this paperwork to validate that I'm a teacher, that I'm a coach, that I'm a leader, right?
Right.
And not realizing that I was never meant to really be an employee like that. I started making money on my own with an easy bake oven at age 5. I used to make little jewelry, go get beads from Hobby Lobby and make little jewelry, little ankle bracelets and stuff. Babysat. I used to do so much. I wasn't meant to be an employee, yet every time I tried to fit into that, conform to what society says I'm supposed to do, God was like, that's not what I designed you for.
Right. But you're trying so hard, so you think it's the right thing to do.
Well, yeah, because it makes people comfortable.
Yeah.
But when you're the called person of your family, you can't do it because then it makes you uncomfortable. And it brings a lot of stress. That's why a lot of things I believe I went through, especially in high school, was because I was never meant to conform. I needed to keep my focus on what I knew, what was being told to me, how I knew my purpose and assignment was on this earth. Not because there comes a point, I believe, where our parents get us to a certain place and point, and then we have to go further knowing what we know about us.
Yeah. Makes sense. So I want to get into taxes because I think you have a lot of knowledge in that. What does someone need to know when it comes to the tax system?
That they need to use it?
Yeah, so there's an employee.
There's an employee.
And there's an entrepreneur, a business owner.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Sure. So at this juncture, we have this thing called Tax Cut and Jobs Act. Okay. It was signed into law December of 2017. And so from January 2018 until December 31st of 2025, that is in place. Basically, it just means that a lot of the personal expenses that people could write off during that time of 2018 and 2025, they either eliminated it or really reduced the amount of credit or tax savings that you're going to get on the personal side, the consumer side of things. Oh gosh, gotta go there. When I hear the phrase "Make America Great Again," I think about entrepreneurship. And when we were a country where people had something, maybe you had chickens, right? This person may have had cows, right? So there's the meat, you got the eggs, you know what I mean? We come together. That's what I think about. And so as it relates to the tax code, you'll even go onto the irs.gov website and it tells you the most patriotic thing you can do is apply the tax code. Do tax planning. It's not about paying taxes. It's about leveraging the tax code in a way that you live your life knowing that you're a corporation. Did you know in the insurance world, right, a 15-day-old child can get life insurance? Do you know why?
Why?
Because by that time, they have a Social Security number. Therefore, that Social Security number means that you are ready to do what? Structure your social in a way that you take advantage of this tax code. There's holding companies, there's trusts, right? There's LLCs, there's C Corps, there's not-for-profits, there's private foundations, there's different business structures that Social Security number enables a person to structure their life. So myself, I had an unplanned pregnancy. I wasn't worried about it because as soon as I got that Social Security number, I went and created a nice trust. I went and started doing stuff, getting a custodial, brokerage account. I started doing things with it because look, I have a heartbeat that I'm responsible for, and I know taxes. And that's one of the greatest things that most Americans don't do. They get so tied up in lifing that they just trade their time for money, not realizing there's a whole tax code. I tell people, like, reparations is in tax code, is in the tax code. So if you come here to America, guess what? There's this thing called the tax code. Become a business owner. I don't care if you're coming out of prison, right, or if you've had child support or whatever. The tax code, there's a way to structure that Social Security number in a way that gives you protection, but also gives you protection from overpaying, right? Because at that point, business owners, you get the most savings and opportunities versus just being a consumer. Yeah.
So if, let's say you're an employee right now, let's say, for example, me, I'm an engineer. Let's say you're an engineer.
Yep.
And you want to, you have a W-2, you have a good salary. What should you do to take advantage of the tax code? Like, what is like the step-by-step in your mind?
They need a home-based business. They need something. I don't care if it's just, they need a 1099.
Okay.
They need some type of 1099 income, whether it's Ubering, getting their life insurance license.
Selling T-shirts.
Yeah.
Pastries.
Whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
Right? Because the Social Security number, at any point, a person is a sole proprietor. When you get the Social Security number, you're a sole proprietor. If you decide to say, I'm going to use this Social Security number to go and work for another business, another sole proprietor, and they're going to give me X amount per hour to not own my own business, that's your choice. But the goal is, if I am an employee and I make good money and I'm having a balance due every year, it's not about going and buying a home, especially not in this era with the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. It's definitely about making sure that you have some type of business that you can write things off. I tell people, you have 3 years. By year 5, when you start a business, if you are in the red for 5 straight years, IRS will say, hold on, wait a minute, this is just a hobby, and they'll go back. However, that first 3 years of you developing that business to make a profit, once you make a profit, I tell people by year 3, 4, you shouldn't be at least, I don't care if it's just you made $10 that year after your expenses. You only, your net profit is or your net income for the business is $10. At that point, in IRS's eyes, you're trying to do business.
Right.
If the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that, you're back in the negative, it doesn't matter. You just gotta, it's all about strategy point, right? But the goal is to, yes, you can have your job, but also figure out what you can also put into the marketplace. How can you participate in the marketplace so that you can take advantage and have write-offs? You have the home office deduction, right? That home office to do business, you're able to deduct that. You got mileage for going to do your business. My mileage to come up here, that's a tax write-off, right? The meal I had to have prior to coming up here, right? Just getting myself ready for this podcast, that was a write. My whole day, every day of my life is a write-off because I'm a business owner. I'm in the marketplace. I'm not just clocking in somewhere.
And you're able to do that because everything you do is with business purpose, right? You're quote unquote always working, right?
Well, Section 162 means you can write off, I'm just going to use layman term, write off or deduct on your tax return anything that's ordinary and necessary for you to do your business, right? So branding yourself, researching and developing, in podcasting, that's ordinary and necessary for what you're doing as even a broker.
So this is like blew my mind the past year because as a business owner, I'm able to go to these events, go to these conferences. I can write off my plane ticket. I can write off the ticket because it's a continuing education. I can write off this podcast because it's part of my branding. It's part of my marketing to develop. So and then I can take mentors out for lunch and dinner, pay for their meal, and pick their brain. I'm getting value. I'm building a relationship. I can take out I can live my entire life while I'm driving to appointments. That's considered a write-off. There's a way to, again, and it's walking with purpose again.
That's it.
And it's the craziest thing how the United States of America has created this tax code, and people just don't know what they don't know. And if you don't know that you can use this and make an impact and make money and help your community and build generational wealth and increase your financial literacy, and you can literally have all your dreams come true. And if you just don't know, you just don't know, and you're going to be stuck paying all these taxes.
Right.
And why is it that people are not taking that step forward to just know?
Because everyone wants to try.
Okay, what do you mean? Expand.
People say, oh, I'm just going to try business. And then it works, and then they come back and they're like, I need you now. And I'm like, okay, it's more expensive now. Because when you're in startup phase, that's better. Give me 1 second. Ooh.
Oh, do your thing.
My nose. My allergies.
You're good.
Oh.
No, yeah, the allergies are allergying right now.
Ooh, my allergies are allergying. Got cold in here that bad. Okay, friend. I ain't got no boots.
You're good. This is a casual podcast.
Okay. Well, you can't show them me digging in my nose, though, friend.
I'll have them edit it
They
out.
don't want to see that. No, okay.
We'll edit it out. What is it? 37? It's only been 37 minutes. Dang, that's crazy.
We been talking like that? What? What time is it? Oh, we're doing good. It's good timing.
No, you're good. I always overbook just to have the comfortability of the conversation flowing. But why don't people know that they can take advantage of the tax code?
Yeah.
And they are stuck paying taxes. And so, like, if you're just a W-2 employee,
Right.
and you make, let's say, $100,000, you're paying at least what, 33%, right?
Depending.
It could be more, it could be less.
It could be more or less.
More usually, right?
Yeah.
So
Up to 37%.
up to 37%.
For
So
income
you're
taxes, yeah.
you're working from January till April for free. That's not like it's not like a small amount of time. So why is it that people just don't know what they don't know, and maybe like why is that the case?
So I always tell people when they first start or they try to come into the marketplace or they're in the beginning stages of coming into the marketplace, a lot of times they're like, for me personally, as an accountant, they'll say, oh, well, when I start making money, I'll come to you. That is not the time to come talk to me. Not when you're making money. You have to come to me in the startup stage. The minute that you get it, that you need to be in the marketplace, we need to have a conversation. And so that's an investment part. And I tell people my services is pretty much free. You're going to pay me now. You're going to write it off on your taxes. You're getting free legal help. Any professional service that helps you with the startup, right? The formation, the development, that's a write-off. That's an ordinary and necessary expense that you're writing off on the taxes. Yet people don't see it as valuable. A lot of times people want things for free because, again, it goes back to mindset. They don't believe that they can be a solution. They don't believe that they can be, you know, a boss or have impact like that. They're still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that's why mental health, like understanding like mental wellness and having coaches and mentors that help you come into your own right is so important. But people don't know what they don't know because it scares them. It stretches them. It's going to stretch you. If I tell you, hey, for my services, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You're either ready to invest in yourself or you're not. You get where I'm going? You either are ready to do it the right way or you want to like do shortcuts. And I think that just comes from also being able to observe what it looks like to start and to develop something and to get it to a place and a point that you can either sell it or pass it along to the next generation. A lot of people don't have that as an example. What we do have an example of is getting up, going to work, being dedicated to a job for 30, 40 years, waiting on a pension, right? And then waiting for those retirement ages when you're really old to then go travel and live your dream. Right now, the way we've evolved, especially with the evolution of technology, you don't have to wait until you're 50 and 60 years old to go travel. You know, you have remote jobs. I think COVID really allowed for us to do a good reset to understand just how fluffy a lot of these job duties have become. And so when I talk to people about coming into the marketplace and being able to really take advantage of the tax code, it intrigues them. And I think once a person is introduced, especially like with podcasts like this, now they're like, it's that simple. Yeah. You were in 15 days, you got a Social Security card that your parents didn't know that was the indicator right then to get it going. Versus what we do here in America is we at age 7, we're plugging a kid into a building, letting them like get used to a bell system to know when to eat, when to have fun, you know, when to get back to work.
That's prison.
And that's pretty much prison. It's the pipeline to prison
Yeah.
and poverty and procrastination. And so what it looks like to be in the marketplace, you start to know responsibility. Like my daughter, yes, she goes to private school. And in private school, you have other people like myself who are entrepreneurs or high income earners, you know, executives on their jobs. But we all have business at some point or another, whether we're authors, whether we have, you know, part-time gigs that maybe we you know, have employees for. But at the end of the day, it goes back to, do you have the example and do you have the mentors who are exposing you to the opportunities and possibilities of what it means to be a business owner? So that's why I think a lot of people, when they first get in, they might hurry up and jump back out because they just haven't owned the fact that it's time to stretch and go to the next level.
They don't have an example, and I think that's very, very true. It's because they haven't seen it done before, so they're in uncharted territory, and then they're by themselves.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, oh, you got to pay for this, I got to pay for that, and it's like, man, I'm already kind of stretched thin.
Yeah, but you're gonna write it all off. That's another thing. For me, it was like, even with my big event story, like getting to big event, the very first time I went to big event was the Orlando trip.
With
that
Master
was what,
P?
that was with Master P.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was my first one too.
Man, listen, I wasn't worried about it because I know taxes. I wasn't worried about the $199. I'm not worried about anything. Like even now, when I'm talking to my elders, a lot of them, they're trying to like make retirement work for them. And I say, well, you know, you really need a home-based business, but you need something that's going to be low entry. If I can show you under $500 how to have a home-based business that's in a noble industry that enables you day one to start writing things off so you can start having some tax savings, would that interest you? That's what I talk to with my elders.
See, that's just a completely it's just a different selling point that for anyone who has a job that doesn't have a business
or have time to build it from scratch.
Yeah, or you know, I love the objection, I don't have time. Cool. You don't need a lot of time to write things off. You're paying taxes regardless.
All I need you to do is enroll. When you're ready to make money in it, that means you go get the license. But all I need you to do in the beginning is just enroll, because as soon as it says success on the screen, you are now a business owner.
And you can start writing things off.
Period.
And you couldn't do that before.
And you couldn't do that before. And that's my selling point.
And could you explain how, if you are a W-2 employee, you're able to kind of take back some of those taxes that you write off, or using your business as a write-off?
Oh, no. As a W-2 employee, they don't have the... So there was a form called 2106. 2106 used to allow for an employee to write off unreimbursed expenses. So if I use my home office for my job, this is prior to January 1st of 2018.
Okay, good.
Okay. I could use this form to write things off as an employee. Now that we have the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, you don't have that form anymore unless you're a government official, you're a government official, you're a Army reservist, or you're a person that has disability. That form is only good for that. Also, moving expenses. You don't have that anymore as just a W-2 employee. You don't have that to write off on taxes anymore. Not only that, but you have people who own homes, right? Oh, I got charitable contributions and I got my mortgage interest. Well, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act took away the exemption. See, back in the day, we used to have standard deduction plus exemption. So each person or each Social Security number that was attached to the 1040, there was an exemption for them, right? It might have been $1,000 each. Plus, you had this standard deduction, which basically meant the government, no matter if you own a home or not, they're going to say to you, hey, based off of your gross income, we're going to give you a standard deduction. If you're single, you're going to get, let's just say $13,000, plus we're going to give you $1,000 for having one person on the tax form, right? That you get to reduce from that income so we can get to the taxable income, what we're actually going to tax you on, right? The way the Tax Cut and Jobs Act is laid out right now, if you're just a W-2 and you don't have just a simple business, right, to be able to attach the Schedule C on, that's where you write things off. That's on the minimum side.
Okay.
That's on the minimum side. It's the Schedule C that goes with the 1040. then you don't really have much that you're writing off. So you're overpaying in taxes and you're not being patriotic.
So maybe I should have asked my question better, but that was phenomenal insight.
Oh, okay.
If you do have a side business, you
Oh,
do
okay.
have a business,
Yeah.
you're able to write some things off, and
Yes.
that counteracts what you owe in taxes.
Exactly.
Okay, could you
Correct.
explain that?
Because a W-2 is earned income.
Uh-huh.
Your business is earned income or earned loss.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in the first 3 years of my business, I'm still just starting it up. Maybe I haven't gotten a lot of accounts or a lot of invoices paid or whatever, but I have these expenses to doing the business, to having it in place. Then if I have a net loss on my Schedule C for my business, and then I have this W-2,
Yeah.
right? So I got a negative 10,000 over here, but I got, a taxable gross income of 100K. Instead of me having it calculating taxes on 100,000, it's going to do what? Calculate it on 90,000.
And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, because just for whole numbers, let's say I make 100,000, I have to pay, let's say 30,000 in taxes, okay? But I spend 30,000 on podcasting, traveling to go to conferences, office rent, computers, traveling. If I spent that 30,000, and invest in my business, invest in myself, invest in my family, invest in an impact, invest in a legacy, I don't have to pay taxes on that. So
It offsets, yeah.
It offsets.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that if you just have a business and you, again, walk with purpose, and let's say you don't need to spend a lot of time, but you have a home office.
Right.
Let's say you buy, you do go to these conferences or whatever it is. So then you're able to reduce your taxes.
Yes.
By just on what you're paying as a W-2 employee, which is, it's a phenomenal hack.
It's being patriotic.
And I love that you say that it's being patriotic. Why is it being patriotic?
Because you're applying the tax code.
And are people being more patriotic or less patriotic nowadays?
Nowadays, I would say more, just because people are seeing the trend, especially in my community. They see the trend of what business can do. There's a lot of opportunities as relates to grants, business development versus employee development. Yeah.
What's something that you wish you could have applied sooner, that you know now?
Dang, that's a great question. What do I wish I knew? It's not that I didn't know it. I just wish I would have. I guess just really starting somewhere, and me myself taking advantage quicker of the tax code. I know definitely once I had my daughter, something just clicked in me. Prior to having her, I would get so frustrated because I would have these clients and I'm like, gosh, you've got great ideas, or they had the resources, but they just weren't fully embracing. And I really believe that was just a reflection of me, and that was the indicator that I should have took, the hint I should have took prior to becoming a mom, that Toya, you doing the same thing. You be BSing.
Wow. And because you're handling these clients, you're like, dang, they're leaving
so much money on the table.
And it's because maybe you were doing it.
Because I think I know that when we interact with people, it's a direct reflection of who you are.
Wow.
Yeah. And then as you evolve, that's the reason why people break away, because you're evolving and they're no longer a reflection of who you want to even know that you are.
Talk about cutting people off.
Oh, Lord. In what sense? Are we saying just in life, or what you mean?
In Latoya's definition, whether it be
goodness.
evolving, whether it be toxicity, whether it be not seeing eye to eye, morals, values, principles. Because earlier you said, I don't have a problem cutting people off.
Well, I'm an Aquarius.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Meaning, it's a characteristic point. But I understand how to detach from a situation that doesn't serve me. But I also know how to detach if I know that I'm not right. It may be a perfect situation, but if I'm just not ready, I'll detach. Blessing and a curse. when it comes to cutting people off, I think it's more or less, again, it goes back to inner workings. Like, are you ready to stop playing small? Are you ready to cut that out of your own self, you know? And again, if I'm evolving within myself, then some individuals or some environments I can no longer entertain, because that's a reflection or a reminder of who I'm evolving from, and I'm moving beyond. So I can't really mingle there anymore. So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But cutting, it's so hard. It's such a harsh situation, but I know how to move forward. I know how to, like, okay, this isn't serving me, cut, let me move on. I can say with Matt and Sheena, especially Sheena, they are helping me to be more mindful prior to just making the cut. Because once you make a cut, that's it. Once you cut a tie, right, you cut a string, like, that's a definite cutoff.
Yeah.
It's hard to mend back. You got to tie it back together. Once you cut, it doesn't go back to where it was. So I'm more mindful even by watching them. I think that was what was important, because that's what was happening. Things were occurring in my life, and I just be like, man, I'm moving on. Forget this. I'm going to move. I'm going to go this way, And it's like, you can't grow. I think as a person understands conflict resolution, understands healthy compromise, understands how to agree to disagree, right? And we can still come, and be friends or whatever. We can have our perspective, and without us having to cut each other off, like,
Agree, disagree.
Yeah.
When someone has a baby and they're 15 days old, what should they do? What is the step-by-step? Okay, you got to do this.
What should they do?
What should they do to prepare them financially?
Or families?
Let's start families.
Yeah, let's go with families. Because I think because I was a single woman, and I think if I didn't have the tax knowledge that I have, I know it wouldn't have been what it was, right? Because I see it often. Most single parents, they don't think what we're about to talk about. They don't think about that. They're just in survival mode.
Got you.
Families, on the other hand, have a different opportunity, right? Because you have two individuals that are raising a child, that are coming together, that have couples are so important because they have a different perspective. Like, they're going to stick to something, right? They're slow to cut off. So with a family, 15 days old, definitely you want to get in front of your accountant as well as your financial broker to figure out what solutions can you guys put into place to start building wealth for this child, versus only focusing in on the traditional bank savings accounts or things of that nature, but really trying to create some high yield savings, right? High yield participation within the market, but also in a sense of living tax free, so that you're not creating a bill for this child later on. So 15 days, you should be thinking about the family business. You should be thinking about legacy at that point. You should be thinking about, I need to put things in place for this child so that whenever this child has to step into it, it's there. Most importantly, also tapping into legal, right? An estate planner, things of that nature. People don't think about it like that. But you're literally a corporation, and you have to figure out how that heartbeat will live on, how that legacy will live on. That's why I tell people I'm a legacy planner. And they ask, well, are you a financial advisor? Are you a CPA? No, I'm a legacy planner. I deal with money. I help you discover your genius and monetize it, and not overpay in taxes. Yeah.
But like, what's like the step-by-step? What should is it get a trust, get a life insurance policy? Like,
well, that's what I mean. You have to tap into those professionals and let them assess, because everyone doesn't have a budget to, a trust is important, yes, but if you don't have assets,
there's nothing to put in the trust.
There's nothing to put in the trust.
Yeah.
Right? And so then there's different types of trust.
Yeah.
So, it's tapping into the professionals and saying, I don't know what I don't know, but I've been hearing some stuff on social media, and I need to figure out like what that looks like and how I can grow into being a consumer of those things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So people just need to first educate themselves by speaking with a professional.
Invest in themselves by, speaking with a professional. They need to have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Even employees. Like, you have to have a team. You have to have a counselor, right? You need to have your legal team together. You need to have your accounting. You need your financial side, right? You need a financial advisor. You need your life insurance, your health insurance broker. You need so much because you're a corporation.
Yeah. People don't see themselves as a corporation, I think.
I don't know why.
It's because they're stuck in the matrix.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because that's the example. So that's why, especially our generation, if you think about it, look at these kids making millions on YouTube. Technology has allowed for us to escape the matrix. More of us are out of the matrix than we are in. That's why we're going to have like World War III really, really soon.
I think that the younger generation, more of them are out the in, but the maybe millennials and up, they're more in than out.
So I'm a millennial.
I'm a millennial too.
Yeah. So I'm on the seasoned side of the millennials. Okay?
I'm on the fresh side.
Right.
the juicy side.
You on the juicy side. All right. I'm on the aged wine. But no, like I think millennials, we're more out than in though.
You think we're more out than in?
I really do.
I think we're on like we're on the breaking point.
I think because think about it, we've seen so many different shifts in technology and the economy shifting too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 86. What were you, 90 what?
5.
Yeah. 95?
Yeah.
Jeez. What happened in 95?
Cowboys won.
Who?
The Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Oh.
That's the last year they won.
Who was on the team? Was that Deion Sanders?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, that's right. You were born.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a kid. I mean, I was like 9. Jeez.
I feel like the millennials is one of the most important generations because it's right after baby boomers, or there's something after baby. Is it baby boomers, Gen X, then millennials, right?
Then millennials, and then we got
so baby boomers, Gen X was like go to school, get a job, get the benefits. Millennials are like, we're falling into that, and then they're realizing this is a dumb idea.
Yeah, because so we're part of the rebellious.
Yes.
We are the
we are the rebellious.
Our parents, I think our parents were a part of like the revolution.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we're the rebels.
I'm a rebel.
All the way. Like, I have
I'm a
no
rebel.
problem. I think that's why we're so good in the office.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We already know.
We're all just rebels. Yeah.
That's it. And then,
because I'm like, why is this wrong? Why is this bad? Let me see how hot this stove really is. And it's not that hot sometimes.
And then once I get burned, I'm like, and then we keep it moving. We take a licking and keep on ticking.
It's like, okay, that's hot. I know where too hot is. I can just keep my hand right here.
Right here. Stay warm.
And if I'm cold, I'll stay. Yeah. If I'm
I can get warm. Yeah. We're very resourceful.
Right.
I mean, think about it.
Because we have so much information.
So
and
much.
And it's just like, okay, I know this. And it's like, if someone tries to tell me something, it's like, well, how do you know? The internet says something different. And I checked 5 different sources.
We're that generation, though. We're the generation. I went from growing up with the big set of the encyclopedias. I had those.
I hated reading when I was younger.
Hey, but I had those. So I knew I had dictionary. I mean, that's when you go in the house and you would see a set of encyclopedias, a dictionary, the Bible. Now you got everything on the cell phone.
Yeah.
We watched Steve Jobs introduce Apple.
Yeah.
We watched the evolution of technology.
Yeah.
So like our generation, we do have so much information, but we know we have options. We know, okay, I can go over here and get a little job. We know how to do that.
Because we would play outside still too.
And you better believe we played outside.
I played outside, and then I'd come home and play video games. So it was like I was on the tug of war between the old and the new world.
But we like the new world though.
Of course we like the new world.
Because the old world is boring. And when we really look at it, especially as we get older,
it's not stimulating.
It's not. And we don't want to live that life. Respect you, but you're not living the life I want to live.
Well, once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it.
Baby, there is no closing. No.
And it's a funny thing that I forgot where I heard this, but You know how when you're at the grocery store and there is like when you go pay out, it's all this candy and magazines and stuff. All of those are dropping because everyone's on their phone now.
Yeah.
So it's like there's little things like that where it's just changing the world.
Correct. But also, I believe we're going to be the last generation of truth.
Oh, because
because
everything
of
is
the ability to
fake.
go electronically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something could be here one day and then somebody can update it the next day. And you're like, wait, I know I saw that somewhere. So, books are very important. I was living in D.C.
Interesting, because then we're going to have to go back. The truths are going to be in what was published in books, so we're going to have to go backwards. That's a very interesting thought.
That is why I publish books. So as I experienced, like in 2016, I wrote my first book called Money Matters, Life After Graduation. It was based off of topics that me and my colleagues were talking about. We had just graduated from college and just what life was looking like. Well, how do you interview for your job? How do you negotiate your salary? Housing, stuff like that. So literally my experience in life, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a book about it. And we're that generation where it's like, information is gonna be in the book. Truth is in the book. So that's why we write books. But now as technology is evolving, it's ebooks now. But imagine most people, they'll read a book on Audible, right? But then you'll also say, I want to feel the pages.
Yeah, I want the real book too.
I'll read like a book of the month or something on Audible just so that, in between appointments or whatever.
When you're driving.
I have to also order the physical book because
you never know.
If I hear something on the Audible, I'm a part of the generation and I'm an accountant. So I have to be able to go back into the black and white. I'm a black and white person. If you can't tell me the reference point of that, then it's like baloney.
Right. It's like when someone says something, it's like, where'd you hear that from?
Where'd you get that?
Yeah.
So that I can go and know it for myself.
Yeah.
And that's our generation.
I want to hear from the horse's mouth.
Heck yeah.
Because, yeah, especially.
Because people are always making up something.
Yeah. Or you play telephone and it's like you just regurgitating as much as you know.
Heck yeah.
What are you excited about?
Ooh. I'm just excited about living life. I really am. I'm excited to watch my daughter grow up. I'm excited to see people have their light bulb moments. I'm excited to travel again, and to get into a space where it's not a burden or have an escape, right? I just want to travel and it just be a part of life.
Where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? I want to go to Australia.
Why?
I think it's cool. Plus, my birthday is the day before Oprah, and I remember when she was doing kind of her wrap up tour of the Oprah Winfrey Show, her having one of her I don't know what they called them. She had a show. She taped a show there in Sydney, Australia. So I just think it's cool. Plus, I remember growing up in Tulsa, going into Quick Trip, and there was a clerk there, and he had this accent, and I like kangaroos.
You ever watch Kangaroo Jack?
Yes. I love a good Kangaroo Jack.
That's a millennial movie.
Exactly.
That's like the millennial movie. I watched that movie hundreds of times.
Yes. And so I want to go, and so I can I know I can't get too close to the kangaroos, but I just think it's so cute to watch a kangaroo with their baby and so yeah, I want to do Australia. Where else do I want to go? I've already been to Africa once. I wouldn't mind going back to Africa. Maybe South Africa. I went to the Gambia. That was my graduation trip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from Langston. We went there. I actually worked in the Lamtura Clinic, helped them, did some volunteer work there. So it was really fun. The problem is that whenever they announced Obama as the president, the dollar shifted. So imagine being overseas and now what the conversion rate was when you first got there is no longer that conversion rate.
Oh,
so
wow.
It cut our trip short. Our money was no longer long.
Interesting.
Our money was short.
Wait, so the value of the dollar went down?
Down.
Why?
Because it's tied into the marketplace.
But so why is a president?
Because it was a black president.
Oh, really?
Obama was announced as the candidate for the Democrats, right?
Uh-huh.
For the presidential nomination. Imagine, this is 2008. That's when everything started going bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow,
right? But that's why I say millennials, our generation, we done seen a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been a good time to bet against the dollar.
Oh yeah.
To put like money on the
Yeah.
whatever
But I
it's
didn't
called,
know. I
the
mean,
short.
I was coming out of college.
I found out that you could do this like a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But no.
I was in like 3rd grade. I should have bought a house.
But that's where we go back to the 15-day-old. What should we be doing? You should be tapping in to professionals, people who have the knowledge and applied knowledge, or the ability to apply the knowledge. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm always doing some type of training. Like every week I'm going to be in some type of training, whether on the accounting side, the financial services side, right? Or just the personal development side. Like I'm going to always be trying to figure out how to maintain the light and be the truth in a person's situation.
What do you think about real estate?
I think it's important. I mean, I don't think it's the end all when it comes to wealth anymore. I think that was definitely, I mean, 2008 is a great example of why you can't just put all your eggs in one basket.
Why is it so shiny and attractive of an industry to get into if you want to learn about money, build wealth, have assets? Because I go to a lot of real estate events and I feel like a lot of people are just really bought in.
It's a great industry. Imagine I do this work, I meet a client, they tell me their wants, I find the inventory, I connect it, they find their dream home or whatever, and I get paid good money, right? A large sum of money. That's like amazing. The issue with that is, especially now that they had this new ruling, you know, now things are about to definitely shift in that industry.
Yeah, because now the buyer's agent,
all of it, like the whole
is being
industry, just how it all works, like how you get commission. So when it was good, it was great.
Yeah.
You know? But I think that's one of the biggest things, is that you can go, but you have to look at the cost. I tell people the entry to get into real estate is expensive. You gotta pay so many different fees, you know. Then if you want to be a broker, you gotta go get a whole different other license, right? And then you gotta pay. It's all those fees.
Wait, I didn't know that. So to be an agent,
let me bring it up.
So to be a real estate agent is this one fee, and then to be a broker, you gotta get own your own agency is another fee.
Right. And see, in our situation, once we get our license, we're a broker. We have the opportunity to go and, you know, get appointed with whomever we're going to get it with.
We can build an agency with
day one.
Yeah, day one.
As soon as you get the license and life insurance. That's why I tell people, like, I'm in financial services, right? The beautiful part is, yes, a realtor or real estate agent can get them in the home, but we're brokers. We keep them in the home. We make sure if something happens, that they'll have money, access to money to either pay that mortgage off, or at least make sure they don't have to go under or sell the home or get displaced. So it's a great additive to what real estate agents do. Plus, if you look at the statistics as far as the inventory and then the interest rates and different things like that, versus the number of licensed professionals that can sell those homes, there's not enough inventory. So everyone that has a license is not eating.
Right.
At this point. And then come August, September of this year, things are going to shift even when they do sell those homes. Like, so a lot of stuff is about to change in that particular industry, and they're going to need a way to make sure that they can still pay their bills, maintain that lavish lifestyle, you know, that they once had. And definitely life insurance is going to be the way. I got to find this breakdown because I have it, baby. Hold on.
About the specific fees.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I need that because I need to make a reel on that because
where is it?
I got a lot of real estate people in my network, and you know, it's just a very interesting conversation because I'm not in real estate myself.
Don't worry about it. I got you. Let's examine it, shall we?
I love it.
Real estate versus insurance. The total cost of becoming a real estate agent is anywhere from $1,100 to $11,000. The pre-licensed real estate course, anywhere from $500 to $1,000. The exam fee is $42 per attempt. The application fee is $185 for a 2-year real estate license. Fingerprinting $38.25. Brokerage desk fee anywhere from $0 to $3,600 per month. Membership fee $150 to $2,000 per month. Multiple listing service, which is the MLS, you're going to pay $0 to $1,500 per year. Marketing materials anywhere from $200 to $3,000 per year. Living expenses for first 2 to 6 months. Potential earnings in the first year in business could be $17,000 to $88,000 per year. Versus the total cost of becoming a life insurance agent is $200 to $400. Broker development program, $199. Pre-licensure course is $26. The state exam can range from $30 to $75 per attempt. The fingerprinting is $38.25. Marketing materials, $0 because we use social media, word of mouth, right? Potential earnings in your first year in business is anywhere from $56,000 to $108,000. It's a no-brainer for most people. The insurance industry is exploding. That's the breakdown.
I love it. I feel like the insurance industry is Bitcoin before Bitcoin was Bitcoin.
The insurance agent,
It's the gold rush.
We're here though.
But that's what I'm saying. It's been here.
It's been here.
Like Rockefellers built their entire empire.
Everybody.
It's been around for 2,000 years.
2,000.
It's the oldest industry other than prostitution.
And taxes.
Oh, has taxes been around that long?
Tax collection. Yeah, I'm in the Bible.
Yeah.
I tell people, Jesus
totally
walked
true.
with me.
That's true. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like being an enrolled agent, an enrolled agent has been around. The title has been around since 1884.
Okay.
CPAs has been around since 1896. The title of enrolled agent is the highest license the IRS issues, right? So my governing body is the IRS.
Interesting.
Who keeps me in line. So I'm licensed to practice in all 50 states versus your CPA or your attorneys. They're going to be licensed in their specific states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But we came about in order to help IRS with, they had to justify, they had fraudulent claims after the war. So it dates back to like slavery time.
That's interesting. What else is on your mind? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do have questions. What are you excited about? I always have to ask you this. Because you know why? I see you in the office and I'll be like, all right, what's up? You know? And you always have just a smile on your face. You have good energy like always. But really, what are you excited about?
I'm excited to, I'm really living my dream.
Yeah.
Like I'm just excited to do more of this. Like more podcasts, more building my business, more helping people, more events, more conferences, more traveling the world, more masterminds, more calls and mentorship, getting closer with like some of the other people around the industry, putting on my own events. I'm excited to make more money. I want to make more money and like really take care of my family. I want to get a nice car. I want to see other people win.
Yes.
I want to see.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, like one of the greatest feelings is like showing someone how to fish, and then you see them fishing, and it's like, it's kind of like sad though because then you like they don't need you anymore.
No, but this is what it's all about.
But no, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's like
that's duplication.
No, it's awesome, right? So it's like there's a period where you're like really, really close with someone that you bring on board because they like need you.
Yeah, they're green. They're totally
green. And then you see them and they're like they don't need you anymore.
I got this.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes I don't talk to some of those people that much anymore. But it's like I'll see them every day. It's like almost multiple times a week. But then you got to find new people.
Oh yeah.
So then it's like okay. I raised this kid or whatever, like the metaphor is, but then you got to go get some more.
You got to get some more kids. That's the beautiful part. You know, one thing I'm also excited about, one day, I don't know, I keep seeing this, like I'm going to meet Patrick Bet-David. Not just meet him in passing, but like really get to like meet him.
Right.
And get poured into him as well as his wife.
Yeah.
I'm excited about meeting his wife because just understanding how they even started PHP and all the adversities that they went through and how she stepped in as a woman. And I think a lot of times, you know, we forget to recognize the strength of that woman.
Yeah.
The backbone. Like a woman, we're designed to be the backbone, to help a man meet his assignment. And so just to be able to tap into her thought process and just really be in proximity with her, I'm really excited one day to be able to meet her. And when I talk to Sheena, we review my business plan probably quarterly. But I talked to her about that. I said, one day I really want to meet Patrick Bet-David. Like, I hope to become a marketing director in time. I didn't, but I have a feeling like that wasn't my last moment. And I think that, too, is why God was like, okay, I'm going to get you in, you know, so you can really understand how to have the mindset to even be around someone like that. You get where I'm going?
Yeah. You have to be able to.
You got to be able to be in that person's presence and really understand how to contribute energetically.
Have a good conversation.
Exactly.
Because like a stimulating conversation, because
Not
you don't want
a simple conversation.
I don't want to just be any other person you meet.
Yes.
So I last TTT I qualified for the after party, and he was there.
Oh, wow.
And but like he was being swarmed by everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna meet him this way. I was like, I'm not just gonna be another person. He just shakes my hand.
That's like Matt's birthday party. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to just like I really envision like the premonitions that I keep seeing. Like it's gonna be something where I was fully aligned.
Right.
I performed, and it was like
you want to meet me. You want to
meet him.
You want to meet me.
Not just a photo op.
Yeah.
Not just a quick shaking of the hand.
Like a proper introduction.
Yes.
Like,
a warm introduction.
There, there you go.
Not a cold market
introduction.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's like I have no problem waiting for that moment, because it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
And I mean, he's gonna be on this podcast one day.
I believe it.
And not just that. We might even partner with Valuetainment.
I can see that. I see Valuetainment. It's crazy. So I'm a published author, and I have my own like mini publishing company since 2014.
What?
Yeah. So I got started doing like Facebook Lives and different things like that, and vlogging. Like, man, before I became a mom. But when I became a mom is when I kind of like shut everything down. But I see us doing what we have to do, right, to be able to grow ourselves in media. I mean, that's another mountain in the kingdom of God, is media.
And boy, is it needed more than ever.
Yeah. And I see Valuetainment just like, as I keep looking, I'm like, wow, that's like the parent company.
Right.
You know
right.
You know what I mean? That's going to allow for us as leaders, when we're ready, to be able to leverage the platform. I think that's the biggest thing, is so many people want to reinvent the wheel too. And that's why they're not successful. Or they get into something and they quit, because it goes back to what we said. People don't have the example. But what PBD has taught us is that
us an example.
He has given us an example.
And it's like,
of what it means to build something from scratch, sell it, right? But look at the other platforms he has. Manette. He has Valuetainment. He got some other stuff we probably don't even. He got the Yankees.
The consulting company.
He got
the consulting company is probably one of the fastest growing consulting firms.
Yes.
Competing with all the, what's that guy's name?
Cardone.
No, he's bigger than Cardone.
I'm like, who, Grant?
No, like Warren Buffett.
Oh yeah. But even that's an example.
It's like big guys. He's competing with big he's billionaires almost.
Exactly. But you got to look at his philosophy and the reason why we can identify with him and why we were called to PBD.
Right.
I'm not saying those other people are not leaders, right? I love Warren Buffett. Love him. I love what he talks about. But when it comes down to like covering, to be able to say like, I'm a PBD girl.
It's different.
There's
no Warren Buffett girls.
I don't know no Warren Buffett
there's
girls.
That's the thing.
Because everybody are employees. When I think about Warren Buffett's empire, I think about employees. I think about Geico, right? The furniture company. I don't
American Airlines.
I don't see where he created like what PBD did as far as being able to give people an opportunity to step into an industry and make a way for themselves, uncap their income.
It's really, I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like it before. And then not just that, but he is there's only 3 people that have ever built an insurance marketing organization and then eventually sold it. No one has ever went 100% EBITDA after acquisition.
That part.
And then not just that, it's like, look at the proof of concept. Matt Sapala's next. Rodolfo, George Palaio.
Exactly.
Like it's not just PBD. It's a superhero making machine. And you see the superheroes being built. Eventually it's gonna be Latoya Rose. Amen.
Exactly.
Like it's
and he duplicated his thought process, his philosophy, and his leadership in those individuals as well. And then they're doing that with us, and we're so I'm so programmed and stoked right now. I'm like,
like I'm brainwashing them in the most positive way.
In the most positive way.
And there's people that are brainwashed to go to school, and the system's brainwashing us to go to prison.
I think because we've done it, and now we're here. we know it's real. So that's why I don't, like, a young person under age 25, if they come to the opportunity, great. But if they also kind of say, oh, I'm going to step back, I understand. But that's why for me, it's like, okay, the faster I can connect them with someone their age that has been where they're going, but then also the faster I can get to the person that's influencing them, whether it's a parent or someone older, that's what kind of keeps the information staying in front of them so that they'll come back around. But as a young person, I think we all have to have that.
You don't have enough experience. You don't have enough life experience.
You don't know what you have.
Yeah.
PHP and what we're able to really be a part of, even now, like, we're creating we're a part of writing the next playbook. I don't know what it's even going to be called, because at first it was the blueprint, now it's the playbook. I don't even know what this next book is going to be called.
It's going to be called history. We're writing history.
No, seriously, like, it's just duplicate. Maybe it's going to be called duplication. I don't know, but whatever it is, all I can say is that it's so simple and it's easy and it's not stressful, and it's possible. That's the biggest thing. You know, my first big event in Orlando, it was called Doing the Impossible.
Yeah. And
after I left that, I remember my daughter looking up to me. I have a picture, and we took a picture in front of the I'm Possible. That's what it was. She was like, and they said 1, 2, 3, and she said, I'm possible.
Wow.
And so I know that my daughter knows that whatever it is that she's trying to do, like, purpose is possible.
Yeah.
Having impact is possible. I'm possible. No matter what happens in your life, like, you're possible. It's I'm about to cry.
Because God doesn't put that in. He doesn't put that vision in you.
I'm thinking about that moment. Like, I'm excited about more people knowing that they are possible. Like, whatever they want, their dreams are possible. And like we go back to keep saying, like, having that example, no matter if you didn't come from an example, like, oh my God, I'm really about to cry here. Gosh darn.
Beautiful.
You know, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I'm glad I didn't put no makeup on today. I posted in our group a picture of my daughter. She had on her future entrepreneur shirt. And I wrote to people, I said, my why makes me cry, so I refuse not to try. Make today count, MSM. And I did #game time. Just to know that your dreams are possible. Like, wealth is possible. Living a lifestyle that you don't have to escape from every quarter or every other year is possible. Like, that is what PBD, Matt Sapala, Sheena Sapala, right? Rodolfo, Ceci, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the list goes on and on.
The Hearts,
Eatmans,
the Swazos,
like, it just
the
goes
Williams,
on.
like,
and the thing about
the
the
Bays, like, the people helping
it's the dream.
people.
It's the American dream.
Like, that is crazy.
And like, it's not just one example. It's like example after example after example.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who's next? Who's next?
And
who's
I'm
next?
like, I'm next.
And it's like,
possible.
I'm next. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Ain't
then
it crazy?
it's crazy. What's it like working with Matt and Sheena?
Listen, it's a dream. It's a dream that, you know, I am grateful. I believe I have God's favor. I never want to, like, step out of God's favor, because I believe that He's blessed me with Matt and Sheena.
Yeah.
So I try my hardest to live up to my word. Sometimes I don't speak up, you know, because I'm still in that evolution, you know, of like, okay, I'm here. Like, I'm here now. Sometimes it's like I be pinching myself. Like last night when I had dinner with Sheena and the ladies of the base shop, and I'm like, I'm sitting right next to Sheena Sapala. You know? Like,
it's crazy.
Energy. I'm like, this lady,
because
and she's on her way to go to the Yankees, to New York, to be with PBD, you know, and so it's empowering. It allows for me to work directly with them, allows for me to stay focused. It's a reminder every day that I'm favored by God, and that all I have to do is continue to walk and do. Even with fear, I just have to face everything and rise. Seeing how they evolve as a couple as well as individuals, it's empowering. And especially when we have to have crucial conversations, like you want somebody who is a high income earner, yes, but also high in integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And character.
So difficult to find nowadays.
Exactly.
So
like real people who can say to you, hey, whoa, and pull your coattail. Like, wait a minute. Like, I'll be like, I'm favored. So in the beginning, I was like, wait, huh? Because I've always been the leader. I've always won. I've always been a winner. And it's those moments, like, literally being with Matt and Sheena, like, has, like, really helped me to see me, know my strength, but then also know, like, when I'm BS and I ain't really playing, and I'm playing small and I'm not playing to my full potential. Because now it's like, hold on, you're on the Matt and Sheena team. Right.
It's like, you think you work hard until you meet someone who's really working hard.
They are obsessed with having impact. Sheena, because I was a Zoom baby, like, Sheena is obsessed with getting in front of people. Matt is obsessed with finding a person's pain point.
Yeah.
They're not obsessed with you being, like, so articulate and so intelligent.
Uh-huh.
And so that helped me because I came in, with this tech knowledge and just that and the other. But they want you to be real. They want you to be approachable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just where it's at. They want you to love God, like, just be sold out that God loves you. God has a plan for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are big on that. They're big on character. Like, your character is important to them and your integrity is important to them. Like, walking and working in integrity is very important to them. It shows them a lot about who you are. Performance is great, but they really want to know that, hey, you're trying, right? You're evolving. If they have a crucial conversation with you, they want to know that they're watching to see, like, okay, are you going to back up, or, you're going to quit, or what's about to happen? And, to be complimented from both of them, they'll say it. And I remember one time Matt was like, I can say this because I know Latoya got thick skin. I know I can say this and she going to come back again. Meaning he's not going to say some truth. And I'm going to be like, oh, I can't believe he said that in front of everybody. You better be glad
come with it.
Yes.
It's like he didn't call nobody else out. He said my name.
Yeah. Pressure's
a privilege.
Is a privilege. Yes.
I was literally saying that today.
Privilege. If they're not giving you pressure, if you're not going through that, think about it. I like wearing pearls, as you can see. Like, but to create a pearl, it has to go through pressure. To create a diamond, it has to go through pressure. To create good wine, it has to go through pressure. Pomegranate juice, it got to go through pressure. Anything good for you, it had to go through something to get to the rawest material, to the nutrients of what it really is. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so working with them directly, like, really just having that access. And even with people, and here's the beautiful part. Here's what Sheena taught me. Yes, Latoya, you made the sacrifice and investment, right? The sacrifice of comfort of being on Zoom to build business. And you got in here and got to Dallas. And yes, you did that, and it's a byproduct. Your people can have access as a byproduct, but they still have to earn their stripes. That's what they teach me. You don't give anybody anything. This is a capitalist compensation plan.
That's what I've realized. It's no, oh, I gotta wait on them. No. Perform. Right.
Earn it. Just earn it.
That's sure.
That's it. Like, literally, just earn it.
Because it feels so much better when you do. Like SLS. I can't wait for SLS.
Ooh.
Like, explain what SLS is and why it's so important that Matt and Sheena are able to do this for us.
Well, first and foremost, it's inspired by the SLS that PBD does.
Yeah.
So it's going to be for our hierarchy, our Money Smart Movement team.
So Patrick Bet-David, once a year, he has a sales leadership summit.
Correct.
And you have to make a minimum of $1 million as a business owner.
And you got to pay.
No, the requirement is you have to make $1 million, right. And then you have to pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. So he's like, this isn't just for anybody.
Right.
This is for serious business owners to develop as sales leaders and as a business owner.
Correct.
So he invited Matt and Sheena and Rodolfo and Ceci Vargas. Only 2 people were invited to go to this event that Patrick puts on.
That's it.
And Matt, take it away from there.
No, you're good. And so they came back and they were just like telling us about it. And she had some little snippets and different things that she would share with us in training. And then it was just like, hold on, goes back to earning it. If I just give them this,
they're not gonna
gonna
value
really value this. It might take them 3-4 years before they implement it. So let's align.
So genius.
You
though.
get what I'm saying?
Like they're just so like it's so. What do they say? They say they got this book. They have all this information.
Yep.
2-3 days at Mar-a-Lago. They got to get all this poured into from Patrick. And then they go, they're starting to give it away, and they're like, hold on,
wait,
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
We're not just giving you this.
Because this is the thing. Remember, they started in Oak Brook,
and they want to give it to us.
And they came here to Dallas in their building, right? And there comes a point where you just have to say to yourself, okay, hold on. If we just give this away to the office, what's the return on this?
Right.
So by but giving us an opportunity to grow our businesses,
to earn
and to build our people up, is
to make an
allows for
impact.
us to now come into a room with other leaders around the United States in MSM in order to learn from them and to improve on ourselves. So we're going to be doing that the Sunday prior to starting big event. And that's the thing about SLS or any, our philosophy is qualify for everything.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if it's cigars with Matt after training on Tuesdays, or, MD to be call, or just being
or breakfast or whatever.
I don't care what it is. They
gotta
got something
qualify.
going on right now. They're like, oh, it's a 2-2. I heard with a sideline, and I'm like, I'm in the base shop. I haven't heard about it, but guess what I'm about to do? Make sure that I'm in the room to be in the breakfast.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't even want to eat the breakfast. I don't even care about it.
I ain't never been worried. Listen, it's not even about the food. It's literally proximity.
It's like, I'm going to be there.
Like,
I'm going to
be in the room. You need to be in the room. You just got to be in the room so you can get what's yours.
Because you're going to absorb it. It's more as caught than taught. If you're
That's
just
it.
around them,
yeah,
you just start walking like them. You start talking like them. You start performing like them.
Yeah, leading like them.
Leading like them.
Thinking like them.
And then people start, and then you realize the type of men and women that follow them and the impact that they have on their life. And then that's going to happen to you.
Right.
Then you can start leading, and people start following you. And the right people that you are meant to lead will start following you.
Yeah, because you'll attract them.
Exactly.
As you transform and evolve into the person you're supposed to be, you will attract those people that are meant that are called to you, right? Instead of going out here trying to make people see the vision. No, you have to become it, right? You have to become the list. I was driving a few days ago, and I'm a single woman. However, I was driving, and God said to me, "Become the list." So we always say, well, I want my business to do this, or I want a relationship like that, or whatever else the case may be. But we ourselves have not evolved into that. You got to become the list. And that's what proximity allows us to do, is to have the example of what it looks like to evolve and to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is on your mind? We can slowly wrap this up.
We've been at this for a while, Ara.
It's been 90 minutes.
Have we been doing this for 90 minutes?
93.
You are. That was good conversation, though.
I mean, we can keep this going, to be honest.
Listen, I'm good. Like,
I
good.
mean,
I would just say, I think for me, I do want to talk about identity, because when you ask me these questions, I'm like, oh, I thought we were just going to talk about taxes, but it's okay. I'm here now. But I think identity is important too, when you talk about leaders and having access to people.
Yeah. Why is identity important? And self-identity.
Yeah, like seeing yourself the way God designed you to be versus what your circumstances and situations are. I think for me, that has been a big deal in my evolution journey, is really getting past any of the traumas and the hopes that I once had for myself, and just really wanting to be aligned with what was I designed, to be, to speak, to think, because I'm an example. Like, I'm a mom now. So that's big. And I think even for people who are not physical parents, but maybe a business owner, maybe they're mentors, right? Just realizing once you become the person you're supposed to be, your God-like person, and you walk fully in that, now you can start duplicating and helping other people align to their God purpose. So I think identity and evolving and understanding, like, it's like shedding of skin.
Yeah.
It's an okay thing. Because you grow. Every time a snake sheds their skin, they're growing longer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So with identity, it's funny because first you have to identify yourself as a leader. You have to see yourself as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead other people.
Yeah.
And that was something that I kind of realized in myself. It's like, why is my leadership capacity at where it is where it's at? And then I realized, I started praying. I was like, God, please help me see the leadership capacity in myself for it to grow, to not just, lead myself, but lead the people around me.
Yeah.
And I started praying about it every day. And then I saw my team grow. I saw their identity and their leadership grow. And that's what it was easy. Then it started duplicating.
Yeah.
But it's like I had to see myself as that leader. I had to act like that leader. I had to walk in that purpose. I had to, be that list before I can, speak it.
Yeah, and I would say for me, being okay to follow. Because I've always had the mindset that I got to lead the way and I don't follow nobody. And so, when you're trying to get somewhere and you haven't gotten there yet, it's like, how is other people going to follow you, Latoya, if you never are putting yourself in a position to follow?
You have to show them how to follow.
Yes, and that's a part of leadership. And so once I really embrace that, then, and that's the move that I made to get here. Like a year later, I'm like, wow, I see myself as a better follower, or I should say coachable, right? And it's allowing me to be a better leader, to have crucial conversations, but to be the example. I'm living the life that I want someone to live in private and in public. And that's what that looks like. So yeah, I think leadership development is about that. Seeing yourself as a leader, but then also understanding that being coachable is not a bad thing, as long as you're following the proper leader.
The right person, yeah.
If you're following doubters, procrastinators, negative people, then no, don't follow that. But follow the leader. It's okay, because you as a leader, whoever's behind you is going to follow you. That's why Matt always says, your team is going to do 50% of what you do right and 110% of everything you do wrong. So I think that's important. Seeing yourself as worthy. Like I know I'm worthy to be in not just the presence of Matt and Sheena, but also to be considered one of their studs,
right,
one of their leaders, one of their trusted team members, that they can trust me to do good business and to also have good energy and also be a part of the overall vision of where we're going to be taking PHP and integrity in the future.
I can't wait. Part 2 coming soon. Thank you for your time.